Pompous what?
Pompadour?
No, I'm literally obsessed.
Hey besties! Welcome to Literally Obsessed. It's Cassie.
And Brittany.
How are you doing, besties? Welcome to another nighttime episode.
Yes.
Are you guys liking the pink going on? Got a little blue going
We got some blue going on for the Teen Vogue party. We actually do have some blue going on. I don't know if you can see it in the camera.
Yeah, there's a little blue hue.
There is a little bit of blue.
Got a little blue going on.
Yeah.
I like the nighttime vibe, okay?
I do too.
You haters.
You know what? We work full-time jobs.
We do, actually.
We have to film when we have time to film.
And right now, it's midnight.
Is our only time to film.
No one can say we're not hardworking.
We did get pushed back a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Let's tell them what
Because
happened.
the spider incident.
There was a spider in Brittany's bathroom for over an hour, and we were not able to locate it for a little while.
Yes. We think
it's a brown
recluse.
So thoughts and prayers to Brittany.
It's okay. It's out of here. But for those at home, I have hardcore arachnophobia.
Super bad.
I did cry. I did have a panic attack. But we're okay now.
She's healed. She's good.
Okay.
She's
I
fine.
am going to be scrubbing every corner of my apartment after this. So.
No, because it was big. I'll validate Brittany. It was a bigger spider.
It was pretty big.
So I don't know. She, whoever this little spider was out for the podcast, I think, a little bit.
I think so. Cassie said, we don't have to film. I said, no, I'm not letting anything get in the way of this.
I was like, please don't feel like it. And she's like, no, we have to do it.
They can't let him win.
You're right.
You know?
Now he's back out in the wilderness. He's not dead.
Out. Yeah, I wanted to kill him, but unfortunately, John
had different plans
for him.
He was playing God.
So
he was deciding the fate. Anyways.
Anyway.
Before we jump into episode 4 of Iron Flame, by the way, we're covering chapters 13 through 16 today.
That's right.
I did want to kind of go over some recent Rebecca Onyx Storm news.
Yes.
She didn't give us the cover yet, but she kind of teased it a little bit in a video talking about the, what are they called?
The sprayed edges.
Or
the stencil work.
Something like that. Yeah. She kind of teased it a little bit.
I freaked out for a second.
I thought it was
like, oh my God, that's the book. And then I was like, oh, it's not.
And I zoomed in and there's more clouds.
Well, I think it was
because of a storm.
No. It was Fourth Wing and Iron Flame.
I thought it was Onyx Storm.
Because she said something about like, what did she say? Like, there's only 2 books with like pretty sprayed edges. There's about to be 3.
Okay, then I was bamboozled. I really thought she would like had it and it was the sprayed edges for it.
That's what I thought the first time too. And then I was like, it's not. I see.
Okay, well I was wrong.
But it's coming out and we know that there's a special edition.
Yes, so I'm really excited about that. I also want to say, was it today that she said she was she posted the Miss Americana and the Heartbreak Prince screenshot, and she had said that she was finishing up writing.
Yes, she's finishing.
So when did she start? Earlier this year, right?
Well, that's up for interpretation, I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I like to think that I think she lied to us. I think she was writing earlier than she gives off that she was writing.
Okay. Yeah, because that was like really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know. Really quick.
Yeah, I remember her posting a couple months ago the like the Post-its. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. And it was
and that made me upset. I was like, she's barely starting it.
That was in like January, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that she wrote it earlier.
There's no way she wrote it in like 5 months.
I don't know. But also sometimes I'm like, if that's my only job, yeah, I think I would get it done in like 2 months.
You're right.
But I'm not an author, so what do I know?
True. She's also been taking a lot of vacations.
Yeah, she's been like promoting her book and
like
stuff,
doing a lot of mom things.
Ugh. Annoying.
She's a mother.
I know.
But I just think that if she is finishing it now, it does take a long time, because I don't know how the process actually goes, whether or not like when it's sent to the editor, do they redo a parts of the book? Because I know for Iron Flame, they told her like to combine them and like whatever. I'm sure it's a process, but
I mean, I think there's also like, there's first drafts, and
that's true. I don't know.
I guess this could be finishing her first draft.
That's true. She doesn't give us the real update, but I feel like it's really fast to finish an entire book.
I agree.
In 5 months.
I agree. But we also don't know the length. I mean, what if it's not 600 pages?
I'm going to need it to be... I need each book to be 600 pages. That's fair. Even though it's daunting.
But I'm just saying, what if it's not?
What if it's like a Frost and Starlight like situation?
I would cry.
She's like, the end. That's it.
I would cry.
So, we still haven't gotten the book cover, which I'm sad about, but I have a feeling like it might just look the same as the other two. Like the same vibe. Yeah,
no, it will.
I have a feeling, personally, that it's going to be more gray.
I want it to be,
because she keeps like teasing a lot of,
gray.
Like darker colors. Yeah. So, maybe with like a hint of like yellow. I don't know. That's my theory for it. We also want to remind everyone that we have a live Patreon. Yeah. On the Patreon, you can find a lot of fun exclusive offers. So we have 2 little sections you can buy from. There's or subscribe to, I think it's the book club and the book besties. There is a lot more information on the Patreon link. So if you want to click that and scroll through, but basically we have a lot of fun community options where we can like all talk together on like Discord. So if you're interested in that, go check it out and go join our Patreon.
Yeah,
we're really excited. We're still learning on how to do it.
Yeah,
but it's really fun, and a lot of other creators seem to have like a good time with it. So we just wanted to try it out, see how it is.
So, spoiler warning that even though we're only covering chapters 13 through 16, we're going to be talking about everything in all of Iron Flame. So just spoiler warning if you're not done with the book yet. And a content warning, nothing, and I mean nothing spicy happens in this stretch of chapters, but we'll still find a way to make it spicy.
Brittany and I like to talk a little crazy.
We like to talk.
Sorry. Also, my mom is truly
that's right
obsessed over this book. I think.
Good for her.
She never called me today and asked me the questions that she had.
Oh, that's right.
But she said that she really likes the book so far.
Yay.
And she's on chapter 20.
She's getting there.
And I told her, I was like, hey, by the way, in a couple chapters it's gonna be a little steamy, not too crazy. And she's like, oh my gosh. I was like, Mom, you knew this. Okay,
also, Mom, you're not catching any of the tension.
Imagine she's like, this is baby talk, this is nothing.
He's like, you call this smut?
She's like, I read this in my day. I don't know, but
gosh.
She's liking it. So if you guys are wondering whether or not to show your mom, your grandma, your aunt,
your grandma,
honestly, whoever, grandpa, if he's down for it too, do it. My mom's giving me a very surprising reaction to it. I think you should send it to your mom.
All right, Mom, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, you gotta do it. Anyways, sorry.
One of my 3 copies.
I think you'll be able to handle it. All right, let's dive into the spilling the tea for a little bit. Again, just these chapters didn't really have a lot going up for us. Yeah. There's not really much. It's kind of just one big scene in the next 4 chapters, but we will persevere anyways. All right. So for chapter 13, Violet and Taryn go back to the Death Trap, aka Basgiath, and they are given orders to go to the practice grounds where they meet up with Thing 1 and Thing 2, Carr and Varish. Violet's freaking out on their way because Andarna is not with them again, so she's really scared that she's going to get punished for it. Her warning by Varish and Carr is that, her warning punishment is to repeatedly summon lightning strikes at Carr and Varish's command, which is already hard for her to do on her own, but to do it to someone else's command is even harder. They push her so far that she's physically and mentally strained, which has Taryn going into protective dad role, and helps Violet in her whole mental spiral that she's having. As she's being summoned to do all this, she's thinking about how guilty she is and how she's being punished and making everyone else be punished for Andarna, and she's just going down this big old spiral. She at this point is like super done and on like the brink of death, and strikes one more bolt, and then she completely collapses, which then has Carr ending the session and Taryn giving Violet a little dip in the pool in the river to cool off her body because it's like overheating to the max. As this kind of happens, some of the besties go and help Violet, and they talk about what more will happen to them the more that like, or pretty much Violet's like, oh my god, who else is going to be next? It's probably going to be the other besties who are going to be impacted because of Indarna's like lack of presence. They kind of switch up the subject to Sloane somehow, and they're concerned for Sloane's safety as she's another marked one, so they have a feeling like if it's going to be to anyone who's close to Violet, she might be next. Violet is kind of in like fight or flight mode, and she almost beats the fuck out of Riddick for some random reason, just because she's like a bit on edge from everything that's happened to her. The exhaustion and the strain gets the best of her. And as this is kind of going on, she gets a bag thrown over her head and they're kidnapped. And that's the end of that chapter. So it goes straight into chapter 14. And after having a bag get thrown over their head and they all go unconscious, she sees Rhiannon, Sawyer, and Riddick recovering from the same situation. They're in a forest. As they're in the forest, they're kind of looking around. They see the second squad. They see everyone. And then they're given this little crazy drink that's thought to be water and help their thirst, but it actually temporarily cuts off their connection and their signets. And it's during the RSC exercise training. That's what this whole thing's going on. As they're starting to get disconnected from their dragons and their own signets, Professor Grady introduces that it's the first joint land navigation exercise, which also includes the other quadrants as well, infantry, scribe, and the healer students. So they're all joining together with the writer students to find the location marked on the map and secure it. So Professor Grady also gives us another fucking twist, and I also want to just emphasize how fucking crazy this is. I did quote it exactly from the book just so we know, where he goes, "There are two groups out here too, the others on the far side of the forest, and while your dragons will be hunting them, their dragons are hunting you, and a few unbonded dragons join too." Oh my god, they're out there to die. Anywho, it is revealed that they are also given two different maps. The fuck? The writers take the leads during the whole exercise, and they then see a scorpion tail dragon, and it's fucking Bade, Jack's ex-dragon, and they all have to remember their skills while having to try to make sure all the other quadrants are staying alive as Bade kind of like freaks out and flies over them and gets all kind of crazy and scorchy, whatever. So that kind of leads us into chapter 15. Take it away, Brittany.
Yeah, chapter 15. So the sun sets the next day, and it is clear that the gang has failed their land navigation exercise. Rhea catches on that Violet really does know what's out there past the walls of Basgiath, but she doesn't push for information. She does reassure Violet that she'll be there to talk whenever she's ready, and she also warns her to not lie to her for the sake of their friendship. The gang questions this new serum and why the leadership would want to weaken them and cut off their power from their dragon. And then Violet confirms that Taryn did get to see Sigale for a few hours, but they are already gone, so she'll have to wait until next week to see Xaden. Chapter 16, Violet heads back down to the archives to do some research since she can't see Xaden, and she confirms that the rider that they saw being dragged by Markham the other day has been killed. She asks Jacinia what... That was hard to say.
It's okay. There's a lot of sks.
She asks Jacinia what book he was looking for, and she says that he was looking for an account of a border attack that didn't exist. Jacinia reveals that the archives are incomplete, but she's a homie and she doesn't tell anyone about Violet's strange requests. Violet then asks for the most comprehensive text that the archive has about how the first 6 built the wards. Then during challenges, Sloane goes up against another first year, but she actually wins this time thanks to our favorite poison master, Violet. Sloane is obviously pissed off that Violet helped her, and Imogen reminds her that Violet did save Liam's life too. Violet also reveals that she has 50 letters from Liam that he wrote for Sloane, and she'll give her one at the end of every week if she trains with Imogen. Jacinia brings Violet the abridged history of the first 6, which is a classified tome. But that book isn't very helpful, so then Jesinia gives Violet the Sacrifice of Dragonkind. Violet opens her door to find Varish and his henchmen waiting for her. They check her belongings and escort her to Tarn. Violet and Tarn land in Samara, but Xaden is on 24-hour duty in the operations center, and Violet doesn't have clearance.
Womp, 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 womp.
I'm so upset that we don't see Xaden.
We don't see him for the half of part 1.
I'm literally so annoyed.
So, like we said, not too much happens. I say that as if like something crazy didn't just happen. Yeah. But also, the forest map challenge thing happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And also didn't really give much except for a lot of banter between quadrants.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not going to judge you, Rebecca, here, but
it's just it felt like fluff. A lot of fluff.
A lot of fluff. With that, let's just get into the deep dive.
Yeah.
Let's just get into
Let's hop in. Oh, okay. My question. Mm-hmm. Do you think we're ever going to find out how old Tarn is? Because he says, despite what you think, I'm not 600 years old.
My God, how old is he?
I don't know. I mean, do you think he's like 400?
Oh, you
300?
think he's... Oh. He's like, I'm actually 50.
25.
Pretty young.
I think he's younger. That's why.
It's just crazy. Oh, man. Because I'm curious as to if he has seen a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he has seen a lot of shit. But he hasn't seen nearly as much shit as I'm sure Indarna has seen.
Which is interesting.
You'd think that it'd be opposite.
Yeah.
Did Indarna lose her memories?
I am so confused what the fuck Andarna is. I'm really confused, honestly.
You and Violet both, girl.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking like, going back to Taryn, how old's Sigale? Are they?
I would assume they're around the same age, but I could be wrong.
I think Sigale's older.
Ooh, a little cougar.
I think she's a little cougar. I think so. Doesn't she give that vibe?
She kind of does.
She does a little bit.
She's a woman in charge. No, I think that they maybe they're like 500, 400.
400's good.
I know he's not an elder, and I think the elders are like 600 and over. So I think that's why he's saying that. Like,
okay, imagine he's like, I'm not 600. I'm actually 1,000 years old. I actually made this continent with my bare hands.
The Empyrean would not exist if not for I. Also, Taryn telling Violet that she has a choice not to go back to Varish and like go back to Basgiath. Like, what does he know, and why won't he just kill Varish? I feel like the amount of times that he's just like, we don't have to go there, but then he sits and like watches her be tortured.
I don't know if it's like he's trying to make her stronger by not interfering type way, or if it's just in a pure like
that's fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also think he always like tells her that she underestimates her power. It's
that's
like,
fair.
You don't, like, I know who you are, your core. I know you can do this. But also you would think that, like, someone who's supposed to, you know, be bonded to you wouldn't let you go through something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's like, oh, she could fucking handle it probably.
Okay,
she looks like someone who could.
That's fair.
I don't know. I feel like Taryn knew a lot about Varish beforehand. Because he did. He said, like, look out for his dragon.
Yeah.
Like, if he gets any closer to you.
Yeah.
What's the tea?
I know. I want to know Taryn.
Okay. I don't know why I thought about this, but in the part where she's summoning a bunch of lightning wheels, I don't know why, but I'm hearing it's like, thunder. Thunderstruck by AC/DC. But that would... The reason why I said that is because I wanted to talk about a song that we think that would be playing as she's doing it. Yeah. I'm just, like, envisioning, like, a bunch of cut scenes of her being like, and I don't know why Thunderstruck came to me.
No, that's fair. I mean, it fits the vibe.
It's the vibe.
I feel... Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I can't really think of a song, but I'm imagining more of a depressing song because, like, she's in pain.
She's like
it's not a powerful moment for her.
She's like, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little tall. Like, it's like a ballad.
Yeah. What is it?
I can't believe we've never talked about this.
What?
If Fourth Wing was a musical.
We could make a whole episode about that.
Write that down. Oh my God.
See, I'm like skyscraper Demi Lovato. She's like I'm made of glass. Like I'm made of paper.
Or like the don't forget.
Stop, I love that song.
No, I love that song. It's so good. But have you seen How to Train Your Dragon, the musical in Japan?
No, I have not.
I think it's in Japan. It's somewhere. And they actually have like a toothless, like a puppet that they ride on.
I've seen him. Yeah.
Easy. They've done it before.
We could produce Fourth Wing the musical.
If you guys made a fucking musical about a little rat from Ratatouille, we can make one about Fourth Wing. I'm talking to you.
TikTok.
I was like, I don't know who I'm talking to, actually.
I don't know who wrote it,
but I think we need to make an episode about that, because I'm hype. I'm hype for that. My next little point is, I just want to say, I don't know why I'm confused. Okay, a lot of the professors, I get them all jumbled together. But Carr, was he a homie?
I think he kind of seems like a homie at first.
And then he just falls off the face of the earth.
I can't trust anybody.
Okay, I just couldn't remember if he was a homie in the first one.
The only professor that I trust is Devera.
Me too.
So just wanted to bring up a question. So Violet says that Varish acts like he was there at Ressin and saw her shooting lightning bolts at the Venom, because he's just like, she can handle it. And so she's like, weird, he's acting like he was there. Do we think he was, or do we think the Venom told him about her?
Interesting. Okay, because she met him at Varish when she came back, like right after they came back. I think, I don't know if we have to go back. She doesn't say anything about his appearance right at first, does she?
He has like greasy hair. That's like all she says.
Greasy, sweaty. Recently, getting over a battle maybe.
But also like,
I mean, I know it was like 5 days after.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think if anything, he definitely like was told about it, but my little crazy active heart action-packed queen girl wants to say that he was there and he like witnessed, he was a part of it.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the I think he saw it possibly and then like gave him more momentum to like go and like ruin her life with his own bare hands, Yeah. So I agree with that.
Something sketchy. That's all I'm saying.
Something sketchy.
Okay, also, just Violet telling Bodhi, I miss him. And then Bodhi saying he misses Xaden too. It's just, imagining her, she's like wet with a little towel wrapped around her. And he's like, let's go. And she's just like, I miss him. And he's like, I do too. It's just sad.
We all miss Xaden.
I think we all miss Xaden.
No, because I miss him in these chapters. He's not here.
Yeah.
We don't hear from him except for the letters.
At all. I'm literally upset.
Whatever.
I didn't even want to film this episode, but we have to push through.
Sometimes in life you have to do hard things.
This is one of them. Yeah. So I just love Imogen calling Violet out because Violet brings up the Book of Brennan, and then Imogen is just like, okay, weird. And Violet's like, you're not going to ask about my book? She says, I, unlike some people, don't need to know everything someone else deems private. Put her in her fucking place,
She's
Imogen.
a Cancer. Violet's a Cancer. She has Gemini traits, though.
I guess.
No. Yeah, it was Gemini that we thought. It was like either on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. Yeah. She has those tendencies too.
Yeah.
I just like to emphasize how fucking terrifying it would be to be kidnapped, then drugged, then forced to do a mission with people who also want to kill you, while also being so fearful about your own fucking back.
Yeah.
After also going through the abuse of summoning lightning strikes.
Yeah.
How fucking terrifying would that be?
Yeah.
I also think that, like, how did they fucking get away with that? What was Violet's mom saying? Did she know that they were giving them serums?
I don't think so. There is the one epigraph that says something about, like, at the end of the day, any punishments, the commandant has the, like, final say. It's wild to me.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy for a school.
I know.
A school district.
Well, I don't think their schools are the same as over here.
Yeah, you're right. It's also like being tested like animals, though. Because was it Grady that was like, oh, let us know if you have any side effects?
Yeah.
That's crazy and villainous.
Testing them like they're little animals.
I'll wait till the theorizing, but I have something about that a little bit that I want to touch base on.
Okay.
I also want to emphasize in chapter 14, we get a little sassy Riddick when he's talking to Calvin, is it the infantry cadet? I don't know why, but he was doing something for me there for a second.
That's fair.
He was doing something. The bickering.
Yeah. I think Riddick's hot.
I think he's hot.
Yeah.
He's hot.
Yeah.
HATT.
WT?
Did you hear what I said?
H-A-double-T.
What did I say?
H-A-double-T.
Hat. I'm gonna need to roll that tape back because he's hot.
He's hot.
He's hot.
H-A-double-T.
H-A-double-T. Oh my god.
I think that needs to be a thing that we say on the podcast now.
Hot. H-A-double-T. Okay, I've got to stop being stupid.
Anyway, I just want to say from the beginning, I've always been a fan of Riddick.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I've always imagined him. I'll have to show you some fan art I've seen because I'm like,
No, he is so fine.
And he's got a good personality.
Fucking funny. Life of the party.
Life of
bisexual
the party.
King.
Yeah.
Confident in himself.
Yeah.
Fucking relief of the friend group.
Yeah.
He does so much for everyone. And I don't know, but while he was like fighting with this Calvin guy.
Yeah.
I was like, I would love to witness that because that's hot.
Okay, maybe I need to reread it.
Maybe I was really looking into it.
No, maybe I need to.
Because it was finer than it should have.
Okay.
Finer than it should have been.
Reread it. I think it kind of breezed past that part.
It did a little bit.
So,
my last point before I think your two are, I just want to talk about how scary sounding a scorpion tail dragon sounds. It has a stinger at the back. Okay, and not just a fucking little tiny scorpion stinger.
Yeah.
It's like a full on fucking. Their tail is like.
Yeah, bigger than.
It's probably like 50 feet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like. The pointy part of the stinger is probably like 20 feet.
Well, you know what? Because there's like a barbed tail or something, right?
Barb.
I don't know.
Why did
that one? I think you glitched for a second. That one, I'm just imagining it's like a spiky little ball. Yeah. You know.
A spiky ball.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like this like medieval torture
device. Yeah.
Okay, scorpion tails are just the same thing, but it's just a sphere. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
The little spikes that are on like a scorpion. Those are fucking huge. They impale you. Right?
I just don't like the insect talk after the.
I'm sorry.
It's a little
touchy subject.
Triggering for me.
Little too soon.
Yeah.
I'll step back.
Imagine if we got scorpions here. That's scary.
Dude, have you ever seen a scorpion before?
Well, like at a zoo.
They're scary as
I know fuck. They're scary.
I've seen them in the road.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. In the road?
Yeah. In high school, we used to go to this like park that was in the middle of like the country. Texas. And then in the road, I saw like 2 or 3 scorpions just like.
Oh my God, they were fighting?
They were fighting each other with their stingers. They're like, imagine that's what the dragon's doing.
Oh my God, it comes at you and.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
crazy. I don't know, but when I envision a scorpion tail, I think he looks a little scarier than Taryn.
That's fair.
Only because I'm like, Taryn's sweet. He's got a good personality. He wouldn't hurt me.
I think Taryn's probably really scary.
Oh, for sure. But his personality makes up for me. But the scorpion tail, I don't know. I don't know why I'm freaked out about scorpion tails.
It's hard to imagine it on a dragon, but I'm sure it's scary looking.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it.
Some fan art, yeah.
Let's not talk about any more insects. I'm so sorry.
They're not even insects. I don't know why I said that. What are they? Wait, they are insects.
Did you think they were like a reptile? You were going to say reptile,
no, I don't know.
You wanted to say
I don't know. It's midnight, and I went through a really traumatic event today, so I'm not doing well. Okay, anyway, all this chapter taught me is that nobody gets along, and they're not setting them up for success. Like, they're not teaching them how to work together when this is what the rest of their life is going to entail.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's just a death wish. It's a death trap.
Yeah, I think they did it on purpose.
Yep, they just hate it. Hate them.
Anyway, do we think that Jack sent Bade as a warning?
I'm interested in
because he's alive.
If he had connection to him.
To Bade.
Because I
think Bade's a girl, right? I'm pretty sure Bade's a... Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know, actually.
I think she is, actually. Though.
She might be.
I think she is.
I actually think you're right. Imagine you're wrong.
Well, then I'll come right back here and
let you know.
Let you know, guys.
Okay, so from this point on, it's been like, what, 2 weeks? 3 weeks since they've come back? Over a month, maybe?
Yeah.
I still feel like he might not have full potential. Like, he's still getting worked on by...
Okay, so maybe Bade thinks...
Nolan. Yeah, so maybe.
Okay.
But the reason why I think that maybe Bade was residing over there was because it was close-ish to Basgiath.
Yeah.
And maybe, like Varishanel, they had to, like, watch over Bade.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I also wanted to know if it impacted Bade.
That I have questions. And I feel bad because I feel like Bade is portrayed in such an evil way here.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't know the full story, but I feel so sad for her that she got killed by her owner.
Yeah.
And Taryn was really sad about it.
Yeah, because that's like the forbidden rule.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up. And it's really sad. Like, imagine being there for a villainous, like, bond that you have with this, like, person. And then they kill you. It's so sad.
Yeah. Rhiannon talking about, like, how precious their friendship is to her.
Got me pissed off.
I literally hate Violet, and her being like, this friendship it means the world to me. Please don't lie to me for the sake of the friendship. I can't believe Violet doesn't deserve a friend like her.
No, and I think it's really fucked up because Rhiannon also was also, like, let's talk about what she was going through. She is a new leader.
Yep.
I'm sure it was hard for her. Violet really wasn't there for her, like, as much as she thought. There were some times where they were like, oh, you should respect Rhiannon because she's your leader, whatever. Or she's your squad leader. But I'm also like, no one asked Rhiannon how she was doing.
Yep.
Violet never once, like, thought about her.
Yeah.
And I think that's just, like, fucked up.
No, I agree.
Something to remember because even with, like, Riddick and, like, Sawyer and stuff like that, she never pays attention to them.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. Because
they always pay attention to her.
I know.
Violet, if you're listening to this shit, catch me outside. How about that?
No, I know.
Pisses me off.
I hate her. We finally... I was so excited to bring this part up. We finally get an answer about transportation. She says a convoy of horses and wagons.
Okay, I don't know why, but the horses and wagons don't fit for me.
It doesn't fit for me either. You're going to tell me there's horses in this world? I don't believe that.
But if they had goats, there's horses.
Okay, well, that's fair.
But
wagons? Little horse-drawn carriages?
I thought they would have.
What kind of wagons are we thinking?
Okay.
Like a Wells Fargo wagon?
That's like an Oregon Trail? Like a Western.
A Western one.
But I'm also like, it also doesn't make sense for like an automotive to be
I don't think it fully makes sense, but I just had to point out we do have some confirmation.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know why in my head I was thinking by foot or by dragon. But I guess that makes sense for the peasants. I don't know. I don't know why that makes me feel weird. I mean, not everyone can be
a rider.
They have porcelain. You're right. They don't have toilets. I'm confusing them with Akatar.
Yeah.
But they have bathing chambers.
Yeah.
Stone bathing chambers.
Yeah.
They have magic, but they have wagons. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, I know. It doesn't fit. I'm not agreeing with it. I have to point it out.
Stating the facts.
Stating the facts here. Don't shoot the messenger.
I get you. Finding out the tea about Justinia telling us that the archives were incomplete. I just remember like reading that and being like genuinely like, oh shit, things are gonna get like go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because even it's wild to think that like Violet came up with this assumption by herself, but to have other people who have no biases technically, also trying to figure things out and notice that things are getting fucked up at the school, it just like it seals the deal for me a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then also, Violet is so real for saying that she read Xaden's letters 4 times.
I would too, girl.
She's like, yeah, like putting it down. I read it 4 times already. And
I do have it memorized.
I'm sure she memorizes
them.
I'm
sure. I would
1,000%.
I would too. Well, okay, so that brings me to my point.
Okay. Nope. Beautiful.
Just imagine Xaden sitting down to write a little letter. Isn't that so cute?
I think when
imagine him sitting at his little desk, or like, do we think he's sitting on his little bed, writing?
Okay, no,
writing a letter.
Brittany, can I
please
paint you a picture?
Please.
He's up against his bed. He's on his bed.
Okay.
He's leaning back.
Oh, I was like, do we think feet in the air or?
He's like, dear Violet.
Okay, sorry, go on.
So he's like,
okay, he's leaning back on the headboard.
Yeah, he's got like, I don't know. He's got some situation where he's like this, right? And
okay.
He's like leaning this.
Okay.
He's got one leg angled up, like
yep,
this.
I see it.
And he's like man spreading the other one out.
Okay.
And he's like writing, but he's so fucking tall for his like small ass bed that he's.
Well, he has a big bed though.
Okay, you gotta.
Okay,
bring it in.
Go on.
I'm just saying, the impeccable. I was gonna say length, but the impeccable height of him.
I see.
And how. I don't know, all encompassing it would be to see him just be like, dearest Violet.
Yeah.
The love in my heart.
Violets are blue.
I love you. You like
love
me too. I don't know. I just see that. Or him in the little tiny desk.
Yeah, I like the idea of him writing on a little desk.
Like a little desk, though.
So
like
cute.
The chair's too small for him.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. He's like 7 feet tall.
He's like,
yeah.
Writing with a little pen.
So going off of that, what do we think his handwriting looks like?
I think it's clean.
I think so too.
I don't think he's messy.
Mm-hmm. He's perfect.
Riddick would be messy.
Yeah, Riddick
Xaden
is a
would
typical boy.
Xaden, I feel like, would be old fashioned and be cursive.
Oh, okay.
Or like maybe a mix. Maybe like a Italica.
Handwriting.
A handwriting.
Okay, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I don't know.
Do you think he like sprays his little cologne on it? Like grease.
He's like
do you think he
gives it a little kiss?
He has to have a picture of Violet.
He like puts a little. They don't have pictures. They have drawings.
He has to have a drawing. Do you think he draws?
Oh my god, do you think so?
Do you think on his little letters he has like a little thing of Violet? Can you imagine he draws like a little Violet?
It's too much for me.
Do they have wax seals? Like how do they stamp it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Can you imagine he's like melting the little wax, pouring it, and he's like,
stop, that's so cute.
Isn't that cute? Also, like, how does he like sit and like in his day he's like, I'm gonna write that to Violet?
That's what I will never forgive Rebecca for not giving us the whole letter.
I need one letter at least.
Yeah, just give us one.
I want to know what his writing sounds like. Well, actually, we do kind of see in the epigraphs in chapter 16, but it's not enough. He literally doesn't give us anything juicy.
No.
Do you think like he's kind of a boy and he's like, I miss your hot body?
Honestly, no.
I know. Disappointed a little.
No, because I feel like it's him like talking about himself, not in like a narcissistic way, but being like, I grew up doing blah blah blah. It'd be really out of character if then he's like, by the way, thinking about how hot you are. Anyway, Garrick is my best friend.
I guess I sound like I'm praying for his downfall and his villain side a little bit. Oh, he's just so cute. How did we not see when I think it's Imogen who says this. Someone says this. So clearly Nolan...
I think that was Riddick.
Was it Riddick? Okay, I also thought Riddick.
Yeah.
So clearly Nolan isn't doing his best work. Guy needs a month off. How did we not see that? Because also, like, what would have been going on that he's, like, strained?
There's many mentions of it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand how we didn't see it.
Like, okay.
I guess we also didn't think that Jack could have survived the death, so maybe it was that too. And last little deep dive is that Violet going back to her ways of being a master of poisons by helping out Sloane.
Yeah.
At first, when I was rereading it, I kind of was like, wait, how does she do this? Because she like just coughs.
Yeah, she like crumbles it in her hand.
And
she's like,
and I'm like, that's so. How did she test all that? How does she know all that?
I don't think she. Well, probably from research, but I don't think she fully knew because I saw what? I'm acting like I was there. I'm like, so when I was there,
when I witnessed her do it, it was crazy.
No, she said something like, oh man, I hope this works, or she said something like that. Oh, I see what you mean. So I think it was kind of a gamble.
I'm just like, does she have like a Masters of Poison book that she like checked out?
Probably.
Archives?
Probably.
It's probably, oh wait. No, I feel like we know about that. Do you think
maybe wait, I think she grew up doing like...
Do you think that's her second signet?
Poison?
Something. Honestly, at this point, I'm being so desperate to know what her fucking I think everything she does is a second signet.
At this point, nothing has stood out to me. If Rebecca has made it obvious, I don't know. I'm stupid.
She says she has.
Nothing has... It's got to be later in the book because
Dude, when we find out, we're going to come back and we're going to be so pissed.
I know.
So annoyed.
So they say that green dragons have an especially stable connection to magic. I just felt like that was a line. It has to come into play at some point, right? Because why would, and the way that that's written too is like, green dragons have a strong connection to magic. So anyway, I moved on. It's like, why would that be thrown in there?
Yeah, that's weird.
If not for something. Okay, but I think
you're right.
I think that Rhiannon has a green dragon.
I've been thinking, and I've been wanting Rhiannon to have a power boost of a sort. Like, I feel like she's so smart and such an underrated character at the end of the day that I really hope that she does have something like that.
Yeah. I
don't know. What stable connection to magic? What does that mean? Don't they all have connection to magic?
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like it was a weird little sentence sprinkled in. No information given about it. It's not mentioned again. So just something to keep in the back of our mind. Yeah. Okay, last thing that I have is just these chapters are such a drag without Xaden. I hope we never have to go 4 chapters without him again. Dude, this was rough. Crazy.
It was rough.
I can't believe he didn't make an appearance at all.
You know what? Maybe this is just what's that word? Exposure therapy. Like, we had to go through what Violet had to go through.
That's fair.
And I will never forgive her for that.
Because if he isn't so much of not even in 1 chapter in Onyx Storm, I'm going to riot.
I'm actually not going to read the book.
I'm not going to read it.
We're quitting the podcast.
Yeah, this is our last episode.
We're not moving through. There's no way. I can't. Is he in the next one? Do we know that?
You think he's not in the book at all?
No, chapter 17.
Oh. I think so. I hope so. I'm going to have to look after this.
I'm like,
yeah, I can't go another 4 chapters without him, guys. I literally don't think I could do it. That's ridiculous, but
okay.
He has to be in the next 4.
I don't remember what happens next, honestly.
Okay, I'll read it after this.
I'll have to read it too. Let's get into some favorite quotes in here. Fun fact, none of the quotes we picked today are from Violet or Xaden.
We hate you. Well, no wonder Xaden didn't make an appearance.
First one that I have is Rhiannon. She ends out the chapter of chapter 14 going, and that, she shouts, is why you don't fucking run. And I don't know, I think she's like a little power bitch when she says that.
Okay. This is from Riddick in chapter 16, and I just want to bring it up because I think this is interesting. So it says, and when we walked out of that secretive room he's got with Varish in the back of the infirmary, he was with an air wielder who looked just as haggard. So I had seen a theory on TikTok that potentially they were using an air wielder to lift Jack up so he could not channel from the earth.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's some Avatar shit.
Yeah. I didn't even know they had air wielders in this world. I guess that makes sense. There's also ice.
I did a project about Signet Power, so.
Water. Fire.
Wait, that's actually pretty smart, though. Just as haggard is a pretty good descriptive word, too.
Can you imagine this? You're an air wielder at Basgiath. They're like, we've got an assignment for you. You find out this guy's fucking Venom, and they're
like, hey, I'll just like lift him up or something like that. He's like,
like, what? You know what I mean?
That's crazy. I didn't even remember that part. That's crazy.
It's in the same place where they talk about like he needs a month off.
Oh man, I must have looked past that because that's crazy, actually.
Yeah.
Secretive room. That sounds fucking scary.
Yeah.
We know it's scary, actually.
Yeah.
Also, Rhiannon, I'm gonna put these two ones together. She kills me with this one. I love her. She's like, yes, I remember a comment made from 10 minutes ago. And I think it was because Violet said something really fucking stupid. She was like,
because she goes, she's like, Sloane's gonna win today. And then like 2 lines are said, and then she's like, Rhiannon, remember when I said Sloane's gonna win today? It's like, yeah, bitch, it just happened 2 lines ago.
Like,
I'm sorry,
she fucking
so
killed
mean
me
to Violet.
As you should be.
I know.
She deserves it.
But
not gonna lie. Sometimes she doesn't, sometimes she does. And then the small quote before my last quote after Brittany is Imogen going, you sound like Xaden. Yeah, bitch. That's a very good thing to say to Violet because she does act like and sound like Xaden that she claims Xaden to be. Yeah. I'm glad that Imogen fucking calls her out for that.
I also have a quote from Imogen. This is my last one, also from chapter 16. And she says, I see it now, why Xaden fell for you.
Mm-hmm. And then it's the same one, but if you don't know.
Did I take it?
No, you're good. The rest of it's like really fucking funny when she's just like, you're fucking clever. Way more clever than I gave you credit for. I bet you keep him constantly annoyed. A smile beams across her face. How glorious. Like, Imogen, you're right. But I love how she's just like, I can see it now.
Yeah.
I see why he fell for you.
There's like one part. Oh, what did she say? And then Violet's just like, what did she say? And then Violet's like, well, I'm not sleeping with you or something. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you wish you were my type. I'm phenomenal in bed. I love her.
She's so fucking funny.
Her.
She's come around.
Yeah. No,
she came around. She came around quick too. Yeah. I wouldn't say. We didn't hate her for too long, but. No. All right, let's do some thriving and theorizing. The ones that I have, they're kind of weak, but
these were a little bit boring chapters.
Just if we haven't already mentioned that.
So we didn't have much to theorize off of.
But we'll take with it as it will. The one that I said.
What?
I don't know what I just said. I don't know what I just said. I really don't. So I can't wait to hear that again.
Okay, go on.
What did I don't whatever. Honestly, I don't. I don't want to know.
Take with it as we will. Go on.
My first theory is, what else could they be making besides the serums that they're giving to students? Mm-hmm. Who's making these potions? That's it.
Yeah. My thing is, I think everyone in leadership is bad. Except for Tavera.
Back.
No, because why would they need to dim their bond with their dragon? And their signets, too?
That should be...
Why would you want them to not have their signets? In a war?
Which I'm just thinking, like, they had to have understood that, like, that could have gone to the wrong hands to be against them. I'm like, I just think that if they're, I think
they are the wrong hands.
Well, they definitely are the wrong hands, but in their mind, the wrong hands would be like people using it against them or like whatever. I also think that maybe they're trying to test it out to see if it works on them, and maybe it'll work on Venom too, to see if it's just like the different. I don't know.
I'm just curious though why they're coming up with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're testing. Who do they test it on before them?
Right. Well, I think this was the first time.
Oh, you think?
I have a feeling.
You don't think that they tested it on like Jack or something maybe?
I think that he wouldn't have shown too many results into it because he's so like unconscious at this point.
Okay, that's fair.
But I do think that that's why he like heavily emphasized like, oh, like you might feel a little dizzy. How do you feel right now? Like, are you feeling any side effects? I feel like it's a little newer. Maybe.
Interesting.
The second theory I have is we get a little bit more info on Xaden's dad in chapter 16 on the epigraph. The quote that it says on there is, "My dad hoped I'd go into the infantry like he did. He thought riders were pompous Pompadour."
Primrose Aberdeen.
Was that what I was trying to say?
I don't know what you were trying to say. Pompous what?
Pompadour? What the fuck was I saying? Oh my god. Oh,
I don't know. Try it again.
Like,
try it again.
Fucking we're pompous pricks, and in his defense we really are. I don't really know where I was going with that theory, but I also will say we get a little.
It's not really a theory. It's just
a statement.
We're not doing well.
Not doing well. Okay, I think the reason why I put that on there is because I just want to know if it weren't for, I mean, I guess it weren't for a lot of things, but do we think in a perfect world, if it weren't for him taking the responsibility of all the marked ones, and after all of that, do you think he would have stayed an infantry or rider? Would have he been a healer? A scribe?
There's no way. I think Xaden was always meant to be a writer.
Meant to be a writer?
Yeah.
I also want to know if his mom was in the college.
Questions about his mom.
I feel like she had to have been.
I think that's going to be answered next book.
I have a feeling like she might be a scribe.
Ah. Interesting.
I don't know. That's just a small theory that I have.
Okay.
And then let's just get into Final Jam.
Let's move on. Yeah.
Let's just move on.
Let's.
I came up with some very random. That's all I could say.
Yeah, I gotta give Cassy all the credit in these. I just physically could not come up with any songs for this stretch of chapters.
To be fair,
I'm gonna back you up on all of these.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I was looking through a Fourth Wing playlist as well as our own. I think only one of them is on our own. But I was looking through like a training like Violet type vibe, because I feel like a lot of this had to do with just like knowing and training and whatever. Yeah. I picked Brutal by Olivia Rodrigo. Random. But that little guitar riff. Is that a guitar, right? That little guitar riff that's playing, I'm also like, imagine like a sick ass, even more amped up rock version while she's striking all the lightning.
I could see it.
Like, I think that would be really sick. So I picked that one. I also picked Bad Blood, but specifically the Kendrick Lamar feature with Taylor Swift. It's a given song.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a Thunderstruck 2 by AC/DC. Already talked about that. And then the last song I have is Out of the Woods by Taylor Swift. I picked that more in a literal sense, not in like the figurative sense that the song actually means. But
okay.
Because Out of the Woods means like you're out of the scary part of your relationship.
Well, I was almost gonna say it was figuratively working because they couldn't see each other for this stretch of chapters. Like, they're asking, like, are we out of the woods yet? Can we see each other?
You're a Swiftie at heart.
Okay, calm down.
Yay! But that's all the ones that I had for this one.
All right.
Really stretching it out for these guys.
Really? Well, we've done it.
We did it. You saw us at our best and our worst.
Yeah. Hopefully next week will not be like this. We will be present and awake. It's just been a tough day for us.
Some more than others.
True. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you guys check out our Patreon, check out our monthly newsletter if you want to see what we're going to be up to for the month. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Literally Obsessed Pod. Rate us,
please. We hope you have a good day. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Love you, besties. Bye. Bye. Mwah.